We're just preparing for our last night on the Pacific Ocean for the next 6 months, because it's hurricane, 5 months, Zach is correcting me, it's hurricane season coming up and we've got a ton of work to do on Tay-Lee, but we are being treated to the most epic sunset tonight. Wow. "324 days ago, we pulled into Chiapas Marina, South Mexico, after a 4-day sail from Nicaragua. We then spent the hurricane season working our butts off on Tay-Lee, while Colvic picked to Ketch, to get her ready for a huge amount of miles to be put under her keel. We then sailed over 2,000 nautical miles, up Mexico's Pacific coast, and well into the Sea of Cortez. We were treated to things we honestly never expected to witness in our lives, really. And now, all these months later, we are really saying goodbye to this incredible country. Today is an action-packed episode, with everything from provisioning for a 40-day crossing to welcoming our new crew.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. We're out of Mexico.
Subscribe for the experience of it all, and let's hop to La Paz, where Tay-Lee's waiting to be packed up, checked out, and off into the big blue.
So at the moment I am just trying to organise all of the stuff that we've got on board at the moment. We're pretty well stocked up at the moment, so we're not going to have to get tons of food for this, but I will be getting a few more bits. But this is our pasta situation at the moment. Loads of gnocchi because it's really easy to cook on passage. Orzo because that's quick, some spaghetti, other bits like that as well. Got a load of rice noodle as well because it's really quick to cook on passage. It only goes in hot water for, I don't know, probably like a couple of minutes or 3 minutes or so. Obviously a load of rice as well, loads of sushi rice, but I'm going to get a few more bags of rice, definitely a few more noodles as well. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out all of our long life provisions and sauces and everything like that. So yeah, I'm writing it all down and trying to figure out how much we've got per meal and how many meals this would make. So I'm kind of going on the upper end of how much grown adult would eat, and then going from there and working out meals based on that. We're also provisioning for way longer than we think we're going to be out there for, so I'm going to provision for at least 40 days and then probably still have more backup food from that as well. Should only take us 30, so I think adding another 25% on and then having more backup should be fine. So we'll probably have enough food for easily 50 days on board, so yeah, it should be very easy doing 30. So
it has been a scorcher today, but this evening Ian has hired a car and we're going to Walmart, Sam's Club, maybe another supermarket. We're filling gas. We're just doing errands because Ian leaves this weekend, so we just thought let's just crack through things and not have a big list just before we go. Got power. How much was our gas?
about 10 quid, 250 pesos, so it's so much cheaper back home.
Did they say how many litres it is?
17 litres, so you can do the maths on that.
Job 1 ticked off the list. Job well done.
Woo! First one done.
Nice.
After yesterday's Sam's Club run, we're pretty much there with a lot of it now. We're going to do one more big long life provision today, and then a few days before we go, or the day before we go, we will do a fresh food provision with everything else. So it's just nice to get all of this kind of stuff done. But I've got one more big shop today, and then we'll put all of this away.
This isn't even all of it. All of that is full under there. There's still some stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff. Little refried beans.
The time has come for Becca to fly.
Oh. It's such a weird feeling. It's felt like a really long time away for so long until today when it suddenly felt, well, wait, really soon, because it is soon. Sorry, Teak is causing chaos as usual. But me and Teak are flying to Canada today, and we've got 2 different flights, leaving at about, well, the first flight's 2:00 p.m. and the second flight's 9, and I get into Canada about 1 a.m. Staying at a hotel tonight, and then staying with Zach's brother and his wife for the next week, which will be really nice. They've also got a cat. I'll get some clips. But what's new? We have had a really busy week actually. Lots of tidying, cleaning. We replenished the first aid kit because we bought a lot of stuff in Europe and some of it was expiring, and we wanted to change a few bits and update a few bits. And you know, I fixed the steaming light the previous week. The casing, the cable tie holding the casing on came undone, so went up and fixed that. What else did we do this week?
Just getting ready, more diesel. We've got 2 more jerry cans filled with diesel in the back just in case I need that.
Teak had his travel certificate done by the vet on Wednesday.
And our weather router has given us some information about the route as well.
He's going to send you waypoints through the trip to ensure that Zach has enough wind and tries to stay in a nice area of wind and a nice angle of wind. Should we show them what he has said so far and what the weather's looking like so far?
Yeah, sure. A couple of days ago, he kind of confirmed what we already knew about Cabo being an acceleration zone. I think it's going to be kind of the roughest bit of the first half of the trip, hopefully. Basically, on Monday at the moment, there's winds that are going to be pushing the upper 20s and 30s, and obviously going into that hang on your beam, that's a little bit uncomfortable, especially with the short, sharp period that will probably come with it. On Wednesday, it should be up to about 25 instead, which seems a lot better and should be a bit of a nicer way to start the trip. We don't really want to start long passages with kind of rough start if we can help it. So if we can wait a day and have slightly nice conditions, it's always worth it, especially when you're kind of breaking in the crew. In terms of the actual route they're going to be taking, it's obviously massively dependent on weather. This down here is where we're going to be starting from. And the whole idea with the passage is that if you are going up the kind of continental coast here all the way up to Vancouver, you're going to be beating directly into headwinds all the time and probably not going to be able to sail really that much, because if you look throughout like time, it's pretty much always coming directly down that coast no matter what. To be fair, on the 13th it kind of changes a little bit there, but that's the kind of very end of it. Especially all of this coast is always, you'll always be beating into it or something like that, so it's not the nicest thing to do. So what we're going to do is go kind of, I guess it depends on how big the Pacific High is, because you can kind of see it changing. And the Pacific High is this big high pressure up in the Pacific Northwest that kind of dominates the weather systems up there during summer. What we're going to do is potentially either, let's find one where it's a good example, either kind of go out from here, kind of follow along the wind, kind of a nice kind of upwind angle, and then get to kind of crossing over the other side of the Pacific High and then start to go towards Victoria and Vancouver Island. What a lot of people are currently doing at the moment is going all the way to Hawaii and then doing that route. We're basically kind of cutting out Hawaii, and instead of going there, we'll aim for about here, so about halfway to Hawaii, and then change our tack and go all the way to Vancouver Island. But the amount of miles that we're going to do is going to massively depend on the size of the Pacific High and wind angle and loads of factors. So at the moment, if I was just going off this and it was going to stay like this for all of it, it'd be, yeah, a little bit over 3,000 nautical miles, but it could be a little bit more than that. It could be a little bit less than that. This kind of gives a little bit of a brief idea about kind of what the weather's going to be doing throughout the trip. And we can kind of see all the way to the 17th at the moment. Hopefully this big dead patch here doesn't get any bigger or any worse than that, because that is pretty light or non-existent wind, which wouldn't be great. But this is the kind of route that we're hoping to do. Ideally, we wouldn't be going that far out. We might kind of be cutting a little bit more up here and then up and around, but it might end up being the case that we had to kind of cut out further and then go in. But that's why we've got the weather router, because there could be a lot of things to think about otherwise whilst we're under passage. This isn't like a normal trade wind kind of passage. It's going to be a lot more varied sails. It's going to be a lot more upwind. We'll hopefully get some downwind after the first half, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag of conditions out there. But the reason people go this time of year in early May is because the hurricane season hasn't started yet around here, so we're not going to be chased out of this area by a hurricane. And May, June time is historically the calmest period, where they get the least lows forming in the sea in the kind of North Pacific up there. So that's why most people pick around here. A lot of people who are going to Hawaii kind of left earlier on this month, and now the ones that are leaving from Hawaii going to the Pacific Northwest, they're kind of leaving in the next month or so, like we're doing. So we're kind of in between those two time zones when people would kind of do that more popular route, I guess.
Nice. And a question that has come up a load of times: why aren't we now going to Hawaii? Because we did speak about that about a year ago. We said we wanted to go to Hawaii. Explain why.
We wanted to, because it would have broken up the passage into kind of two halves, and we had some friends from back home who wanted to do the passage with us but can't get 30 days off work but could have got about 20 days off. But to get the boat into Hawaii, we could have done some weird visa things where we involved flying to the States and doing all that kind of stuff, but really what we needed is our B1, B2 visa. And we had applied for that in Mexico, but there was about a year's wait list when we applied, and we still haven't heard anything about it. We thought there might be a case that we get fast-tracked on it because we were first-time applicants for the visa. However, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're foreigners in Mexico applying to the US Embassy in Mexico. I don't really know what the case was, but we never heard back from it, and we probably won't hear back until October, was it, or something like that. So we kind of gave up. We could have flown down to El Salvador, but we would have had to fly down there, give our passports in and everything like that, wait about a month in El Salvador, and then fly back to Mexico with our B122 visas. But there's no guarantee that we would have got it as well. So the easier thing for us to do was just to kind of miss out the States this time round, and when we're back in the UK next, apply for our B1, B2 visas in our own country, get them there, and then that will allow us to Alaska the following season.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a pain in the ass, if I'm honest, but this whole bit of North America and Central America has been the most difficult bureaucracy that we've come up against in the entire trip so far. Mexico was awkward. The States has been awkward. Canada seems quite easy, but each their own.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
we
crossed.
haven't arrived yet.
Yeah, but we don't need any pre-visas or anything like that for Canada. But yeah, that's why we're not going to Hawaii, which is a little bit annoying because we would have liked to have gone. But I guess there are some silver linings because it's quite expensive there for marinas and food and everything like that. But it still would have been nice to go and actually see it for a month or so. But you can't do everything, so
when life gives us lemons, we make lemonade.
Yeah, and on the way back down this coast, we'll probably end up doing the kind of mainland US anyway, so we'll get to see that at some point.
Yeah.
And for those who are thinking we're missing over loads of good sailing areas along the Pacific Northwest of the US coast, we will hopefully do it at some point.
Yeah, we want to go to Oregon at some point.
Yeah, and go all the way down that coast, so yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, that's why we're doing this route, and that's why we've been kind of forced to do this. But we know a number of people who've done this over the years and have had a great time doing it, so
Yeah, you're gonna smash it.
It's gonna be exciting.
I am packed and ready, and I thought it would be kind of fun just to tell you what I'm bringing, because I always find that interesting for other people. So the coolest thing for Teak is we have this travel carrier and it extends double the size, so in the plane I can make it bigger, and then in the airport he's harness trained, so I can take him to a pet area and he can walk around. He just has, yeah, his little bits in here in the sides as well. And then my case, and then my hand luggage, and that's about it. So I'm trying to travel quite light for the month. I'm just really excited, honestly, for Zach and the crew. I think they will have a fantastic time, and the weather looks great, and the boat's ready, and I know they'll have a cracking time. Hopefully they'll catch loads of fish, and I'm just really proud, honestly. I'm proud that Zach is going without me. I'm proud of the sailor he is, and yeah, I know you'll smash it, and I can't wait to see you the other side.
Oh, thanks.
Gonna miss you.
Yeah, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Bye. Love you. See you on the other side. It was a strange feeling for sure, but back on Tay-Lee, it's time to keep cracking on.
Today is Sunday and it's our last full day in La Paz and on land. And yesterday Scott arrived, who's our first crew member, is an Australian guy. And we went out yesterday and got a load more food bits from a few different places in town. We're doing our fresh food shop this afternoon when our last crew member arrives in this morning, a guy called John. I'll introduce you to both of them properly in a bit, but I'm going to show you what else we got for the boat and kind of update you on our pantry and food situation. We got a load of wraps and some fairly long life bread buns. A ton more tins. I got some like tin peppers. I don't know how those are going to be. A load more chickpeas and some olives and stuff like that. And then we also, because when it's rough weather and you can't be bothered to cook, we got a load more ramen packs and stuff like that. A load more rice noodles, but we are stuffed full of food now. I think we've easily got enough for 40 plus days on board, but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting going now. The weather's looking good for rounding the Cape of Cabo on Wednesday, so the plan is we're gonna do the provision today, gonna go out for breakfast and kind of get off the boat as much as we can before being on it for 30 days. Tomorrow we're doing all the immigration, port captain, all that kind of interesting stuff, which would be fun. Hopefully that won't take much more than the morning, and then we've got to motor and go around 10 nautical miles to where we've got to cancel our temporary import permit for Mexico. And then, depending on what time we're done, we're either going to go 50 miles or another like 5 miles, anchor overnight, clean the bottom of the boat and do a few other bits like that. And then in the morning, we're going to go. So that's the plan. Hopefully everything goes to plan. The bureaucracy in Mexico is kind of crazy with all of the checkout and all the process we need to do for that. But I'm very much looking forward to getting going, and I think we're all ready and the boat is ready. So bring on 30 days at sea. Hello. Hello. After this, I wasted no time with briefing the crew on absolutely everything on board Tay-Lee, from safety equipment to navigation gear. Becca's got a really big spreadsheet of all of the medication we've got on board, all the dosages you need and everything like that. Yeah. We've got really strong painkillers, we've got stuff for stomach, ear, nose, throat, so they're all kind of labelled up and Becca knows what's in each one as well. Creams, I think it's general on pain. So we've got some really strong painkillers in here. And then all of this is kind of gauze, gloves, disinfectant stuff, scissors, bandages, tourniquet. You've got a tourniquet as well.
Tell us, John, what are we doing here? Well, more to the point, what's Zach doing here?
Scrubbing the hell out of that chain at the moment. We've probably gone about 5 metres there, I reckon, but there's still a bit more to go.
Well, yeah, John, Zach and I have just been in the water, scrubbing the bottom of the boat as much as we can, getting ready for passage. That is a big dolphin.
With provisioning for more than a month, I wanted to wait until the very last moment to buy fresh produce, as this typically would only have a maximum of a 10 to 14 day life. Let's just get 4 red peppers, I think. We are currently in Shadrari and doing the last fresh food provision before we head across. And we're doing pretty well. We've got most things, but they didn't have sweet potato here, and we're still trying to find egg replacement because the eggs here go off really quickly, but I have no idea what the egg replacement packet looks like here. I know I have Huevo on it, but that's about it. But the guys have gone off to try and find it as well. But I'm hoping this will be enough food almost for the 30 days or 40 days or so. But we've got quite a lot on here so far and loads of tin stuff. But obviously we can only get what will last the time it will last. So we've got loads of potatoes and loads of onions because they last forever. A load of very green pineapple and cabbage because that lasts for a while, but things like peppers and tomatoes won't last much more than a couple of weeks, so we kind of limit ourselves a little bit. But apples and oranges last a while as well. We've got green bananas, but yeah, we're getting there with everything.
Sorry? I don't think we're going to get up on the plane on the way home.
No, well, what I'm probably going to do is leave one or two of you at the dock.
Yeah, I think that might be an idea.
Yeah.
It was only just getting on with all of us in it.
Oh yeah, that'll work, won't it?
I got some more space for you as well.
I think that's invented.
This is everything, all the fresh stuff.
But it's this lovely part where you've got
Some leftover bits, so I need to figure out where to go. But the fridges are stuffed.
That one that you just mentioned, did it have like a helm inside?
No, so
We are going to go into town and we're going to go first to the Harbour Master and hopefully check out there, and then second will be immigration. Hopefully it's the right way around to do it. We've got some slightly conflicting information and I don't even know if we need to go to immigration. Some people have even said that they hadn't had to go to immigration, but that might be because they're US citizens and they're going to Hawaii. So we're going to go to immigration and see, but hopefully the Harbour Master can let us know. Unfortunately, it's actually Cinco de Mayo today, so everywhere is closed. So we're gonna have to try again tomorrow. I don't know how I quite missed that it was Cinco de Mayo, but I did, and everywhere closes here on a Cinco de Mayo day, apparently. All the government buildings closed, port captain's closed, immigration's closed, and the tip place is closed. So we're gonna try again tomorrow. Hopefully we've still got some wind. It's a little bit annoying because there was really good wind today to go south along Baja, but we're going to make do what we've got, and I think it'll still be fine. We might end up spinnaker sailing hopefully down there, and if we do end up motoring, we'll just refill just outside of Cabo, and then we'll go. So updated itinerary is leave tomorrow, round the Cape of Cabo. So tomorrow's Tuesday, round Cape of Cabo, Wednesday evening, afternoon kind of thing, and then we'll be off in the Pacific, and it'll be hopefully 30 days from then. So take two tomorrow. We're going to go out for food tonight and make the most of being on land, but yeah, I guess all these things happen for a reason, so I can't be too annoyed about it because I was pretty pissed when I found out it was Cinco de Mayo. But there might be some fun things going on in town, so it is what it is.
Cameron's out there, it's $1.70. So it's like,
Gracias. Y mala empanada.
like
Because of all the anti-corruption stuff here, you can't actually pay in the port captain's office for the fee that you need to pay to doing all the paperwork. So I had to go to a bank, waited about 40 minutes in line for it, got to the front, he got a bit confused, I had to sit down for another 10 minutes, and then they basically told me that they couldn't do it at that bank. Came into Santander, and they did it straight away, which is brilliant. So I'm on my way again, after an hour of just trying to pay. Gonna get the Harbour Master there, finish up the paperwork there, hopefully, go to immigration, get the boat out of here before the tyres change, cancel my tip, and then we're off, hopefully. But you never know. That sounds very easy, but it's already been 3 hours and I feel like I haven't really done that much. So yeah, checking out in Mexico is a long process. Okay, we have just finally checked out. Turns out we didn't need to go to immigration in the end, but the tides are changing, so I sound out of breath because we're rushing around to get out of here, but we are about to head to the tip place, get that done, and then we can finally be off. But yeah, let's get the engine on, let's get going, lift the anchor, and get out of Mexico.
Yes, please, forward and right. Yeah, 1 o'clock, yeah.
Okay, you can get the double claw on for me. That's it?
Yes.
Wow. Thank you very much. Gracias. Hasta luego. We're out of Mexico. This day has been a long time coming. I can't wait to get going. On our way, Becca. We are off. We're all checked out. Tip's done. About to pick up anchor. Hydrovane's all ready. Dinghies on the bow. Outboards on the back. So yeah, nothing left to do. Ready? It's all yours.